Hello, it's me again, Catter. The feedback on my previous video was absolutely fantastic, and while it was generally positive, there were some valid counter arguments made, most of which I'll try to cover in the video. As for the other arguments, I can't really talk about, not because they don't exist, but because every time I asked people about them, I'd get hit with the joy emoji. Beyond this, I want to say that I plan to make the video pretty long compared to the previous one, as I'd like to go a bit deeper into various points and arguments. However, this means that due to the length and the various points I'll be covering, there will be a large margin for error. As much as I hate being wrong, I know it's important to remain credible that I need to admit when I get something wrong. And unlike most, I try to improve in this aspect, so if I say something fucked and you can smell the shit, please do tell me. I'll be sure to add corrections through either annotations in the video or comments in the comment area. So with this out of the way, let's start with the first topic. This is one of the major reasons why the community were fucking each other in the nostrils. Ranked was removed. Personally, I have absolutely no issues with this. In fact, I'm publicly supportive of it. I absolutely hated Ranked. Playing Ranked was like watching a person stab themselves in the neck with a sharp piece of glass, watching them get a neat trinket out of it, then stabbing yourself in the neck because you want a shiny trinket too. Besides the promise of a trinket, Ranked was supposed to give you a more competitive experience. The quote-unquote true DirtyBomb experience. But unfortunately, this isn't and never was the case. Some of the major issues with the ranked game mode were new players, match balance, server locations, and stacking. These are only some of the major issues, as the list is practically as long as my infinite wisdom. I decided to go with these issues in general because they're short, punctual issues that don't have an incredibly broad reach. Although I will definitely be dedicating more time to some of these issues than others in the video. This isn't due to their importance, as all of them are important. All the issues are important. But rather, some of these issues need more explanation, and I'm pretty bad with words. And I don't want to give you guys the wrong idea when I talk about an issue that some people may not view as an issue, or think I'm saying something that I'm really not. First issue I'll cover is new players. Now right out of the gate, I want to stop the horses and say the following as openly and as blatantly as possible. I don't hate new players. I don't. I understand that some of you that know me better know for a fact that I love to thrash newer players for having the aim of a blind man, the awareness of a cabbage, and the general skill of a fish in a pudding fountain. Now this is all fine and dandy, but I want to make it very, very clear that I understand the importance of new players in their first introductory matches in the game. Multiplayer first-person shooter games such as DirtyBomb only survive due to the influx of new players. Be it some 6-year-old boy that saw some 3-year-old footage on YouTube, an adult that saw it was free on Steam, or a prenatal fetus that heard about it while browsing Reddit and wants to give it a try. However, for a reason that'll be explained shortly, I hope you're smart enough to understand why new players are a problem in a ranked, competitive setting. Exactly that. New players are in a competitive setting. Generally, new players don't really learn anything, even after the tutorial. Plenty of casual matchmaking matches have proven this. Level 3 players that verbally ask in chat, "How do I give ammo?" And the sort of questions that make you question how you should ethically treat these lower life forms. And it's for this general ineptitude that you wonder how they manage to get into ranked matches. These players can't use abilities or play their roles, but they can play ranked? Why? Well, I'll tell you. The requirements were far too low. To be eligible to play ranked, you only needed to be level 7. Now, I won't pretend to know how many matches or how long you needed to play to reach level 7, but obviously it's not enough. I can say this factually because not only have I had experience with low-ranked players not doing jack shit in ranked matches, but seemingly the entirety of the official DirtyBomb Discord have too. In fact, now that I think about it, one particular noob decided to open his mouth and give his piece. According to him, he's level 9 and has been playing DirtyBomb for a total of 3 weeks. He's upset that I'll never get to experience ranked and earn a shiny bronze trinket so that he can show it off to his friends, and while I think he's retarded, I can't argue that ranked did indeed allow players to earn cosmetics. And I think that earning cosmetics is a very fair ground for an argument as to why people would subject themselves to the shit show that was ranked. In fact, now that I think about it, it's probably the only reason people subjected themselves to ranked. But me, being the petty cunt I am, let me tell you this, youngling. Ranked wasn't fun. It wasn't balanced. And it most certainly was not worth your time. and simply being unable to earn a fancy trinket or loadout card isn't enough clout for you to be angry that ranked is gone for now, since this exact same argument can be applied to previous events you weren't here for. And saying you deserve a chance to get those loadout cards from previous events are as ridiculous as this argument for any previous ranked season. The second major issue we'll be covering is match balance. I think one of the larger issues with ranked was just that, balance. I'll probably start scrolling through screenshots of matches I myself have had and matches others have had and decided to send to me. Now, if at all possible, I'd like you to just pause the video for a moment or two and just look at a couple. Fuck, some of these are horrible. Some are obviously worse than others, but overall I'm sure you can get a general idea. And there have been worse matches. In a casual setting, this is absolutely fine, as you can either leave or try your best to simply carrying the balling toddlers that are clinging to your leg and asking for ammo while you're playing Phantom. But in a ranked scenario, leaving a match in progress kicks you in the dick with a penalty. An incredibly minor one, but it's a penalty nonetheless, so you're forced to sit through a match and struggle because oftentimes your teammates are beneath your level of experience and rank. So the matchmaker decided to toss you in, or you and your teammates of relatively equal skill are put up against fucking Bouncer from SpongeBob. But now they're for them, and Finkus drinking glue through a sippy cup. This is incredibly unfair for two reasons. One reason being the lower tier players having absolutely no chance of beating a higher tier group, as the latter can probably at least grunt to communicate, can aim, and know how to play their roles effectively. The second, more widespread reason it's unfair is that the fetus impaled to the bottom of the scoreboard on the higher tier team, he's getting carried. And as the rank system ties performance not by individual performance, but by team performance, that little manlet is getting rewarded for being carried. Meanwhile, the single gold player on the team of bronzes that's basically doing all the work for his team is getting absolute shit, because he's still lost, and therefore gets no rank increase and can only lose rank. Sure, he gets a tiny 10 ranked points to wipe the butt milk out of his ass with, but the loss of the game wasn't in part due to his lack of awareness or overall game sense, but in fact it was due to his teams. This makes the entire ranked system less about skill and more about luck, and there's no skill involved in being randomly paired with 4 other humans or possibly chimpanzees in disguise. It's luck. Issue number 3 that we're going to cover is server location. This is going to be an incredibly short portion, as it only requires a very short explanation, or more so a question. Why the fuck am I, a West Coast North American player, getting put on East Coast North American servers? I have already waited 45 minutes so I could smash my head into a wall. I'd much rather wait another 20 minutes, so I at least get into a server where when I shoot somebody, they take damage and the bullets don't phase through them like they're some sort of main character from an anime. Number 4, stacking. Stacking is when a group of friends all group up and play matches. Now this is fine on paper, as it's just a group of friends having fun and playing the game. The issue is, due to them knowing each other, this group is probably in a Discord call and are actively communicating with each other. Again, this is fine. But in a ranked setting, this is generally unfair, and out of probably maybe 40 ranked games through 2 separate seasons, I've only gotten 2 or 3 of my ranked teams to say anything through the mic that wasn't racist, toxic, or the words "fuck you" stringed together in various languages. And due to this lack of communication, the stack often outperforms other players in a team due to them being able to communicate strategies that generally make the game unfair. Strategies such as coordinating massive fucking bombing runs with a group of naders, or being able to shut down a choke point, or otherwise melt objectives with Stoker. And let me tell you, as a first-hand survivor of the Nader Martyrdom Wars of Season 4 Double Ranked Points Week, there is no greater fear that a human on this mortal plane can feel when you hear a plethora of boots pitter-pattering down a hallway, followed by the sharp pinging of numerous grenade launchers shooting their explosive ordnance towards your area. Now that I've gotten the glaring issues out of the way, I'd like to give you all one final say in the issue, before I move on to the counter-arguments for removing ranked. My friend, Shiba, who has played more than 200 ranked games in a single season, has something to say. So I think out of anyone that knows the ins and outs of ranks, about the true DirtyBomb ranked experience, it would be him. I asked him about his experience in Ranked, and here's what he had to say.
My ranked experience is ass, total utter fucking garbage. The only thing that I found remotely enjoyable about the experience was when I finally got the rank I wanted. It felt awesome. Only to be crushed in the next match when I lost the feeling via heavily unbalanced and extremely toxic matches. After all of my ranked games I went though, I turned into the same toxic garbage as everyone else. Team placing was always unbalanced, and I felt almost like I was being picked on just to be screwed over by the matchmaker. Obviously I'm not a super amazing player, but as the scoreboard shows time and time again, I'm not shit. Yet time and time again, I would lose due to the matching pairing me with players beneath my own and the enemy team's skill level. Not only that, but every other match someone would leave, and guess what, it was almost always on my side of the fence as well. Once again, losing not due to my own fault, being forced to rely on teammates and losing so much hope when my team sucked. I feel like almost all of those matches were a waste of time and sanity. So to reinstate, my ranked experience is ass, total, utter, fucking, garbage.
Now I'd be silencing maybe 30 people if I didn't talk about the pro side of Ranked, and seeing as how I'm a man of equal opportunity for all, I'll try my best to represent your case as everyone from your side I asked about it responded with a joy emoji and called me mean words. The main argument I found were that Ranked trinkets are now exclusive, and that Ranked was the best experience that DirtyBomb had to offer. Seeing as how I already talked about the exclusive Ranked trinkets prior, I'm going to skip it. Seeing as how I'm the only one in the Knights of the Big Butt Society, I think I'm the majority, and I may skip this topic. So the only other point that is marginally valid, kindly pointed out by this fellow, is that the DirtyBomb Ranked was the best experience DirtyBomb had to give its players. Now I'm sure I come off as rather harsh, but I think it's important that I be a little bit more stern when I talk about this topic. I've given this about a week of thought, and I really can't wrap my head around the fact that some people can find joy in this game mode. I understand that the nice feeling of crushing your enemies and knowing for a fact you're better than them is very nice. I understand that completely, and I don't condone you for it. However, I don't think I or anyone deserves a shiny gold trinket to remind you every time you look at it that you beat a 6-year-old in an FPS game. I mean, it's good that you enjoyed your time in Ranked. That's fantastic. But seeing as how the majority of players that partook in Ranked, be them Bronze, Silver, Gold, Cobalt, or Elite, I think it's incredibly apparent that Splash Damage decided to listen to the majority of players, regardless of how vocal they are or otherwise. I had to rewrite this section of the script several times so that I wouldn't come off as overly critical. As I stated in the previous video, casual matchmaking sucked heavy amounts of ass, sharing quite a few similarities with Ranked, problem-wise. Unbalanced matches and new players being put into matches with veterans that would spread their legs and poop in their butts. Now, with the new quick join system, queue times have been drastically reduced, and from all the matches I've played, balance seems to be at an overall all-time high. However, I have noticed that I'm being put into EU servers, which is fine as most of you guys are incredibly polite and seemingly know what you're doing, although I am playing with over 200 ping. But even with my newly acquired teleportation ability, all the matches are incredibly well balanced. There are obviously still players clearly better than others, but more often than not, the enemies travel in groups and take him or her down. I haven't seen this level of higher cognitive function in a casual setting in months, and if I'm honest, it kinda brings a tear to my eye. Naturally, the newly implemented system isn't perfect. As previously stated, it's been placing players on continents they aren't even near, which is an issue. And with time, I'm sure this will be fixed. Please be patient. The improved quick join is still suckling on the teat of development. Give it some time to grow and be a big boy. Bite your lip or use the server browser until the issues are resolved. Arguably the most controversial issue with the update is the party system removal. Rightfully so. I absolutely loved playing with my medic friend, as it was nice finally having a medic I could consistently rely on in casual matchmaking. But as the statement proves, it wasn't intentional. See that? And there you go. I'm sure Splash Damage are prioritizing rebuilding the party system from the ground up and will ship it to us as soon as possible, maybe even with some new features. I don't know, I can't say because I don't have any heads, eyes, or ears inside the office. However, I won't say anything that sounds factual like I did in my previous video, because in truth, most of it was simply wishful thinking. I personally believe that Splash Damage will implement another party system, and I should have fully explained this in the prior video. I'm sorry. But as you can see, the removal was not intentional, and this is factual. Splash Damage themselves use the party system, and I'm sure they know that the majority of players used it too and are working hard to bring it back. Well, that's it for this video. I'd like to thank you guys for your patience while I made the video. I have quite a bit on my plate with college and a new job. I sincerely hope I managed to explain the whole DirtyBomb situation in a way you find comical but informative. I didn't get any information from Reddit, so any and all information came from acquaintances, the official DirtyBomb Discord, and quite literally nowhere else. As far as YouTube goes, I'm still trying to find my own style, so if you decide to stick around, be sure to give me your input on this style of video as I explore the inner workings of my video editing software. I have literally years of unused footage, and I have a habit of not shutting up. After all, I have plenty to say, so until next time, keep calm, and please, don't forget to play dirty.
We planted on